Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Mac Merlin Show, the show where I build keyboards from the hardware to the software. And let's say today we are doing a customer build of the Clueboard 66. Here, let me show you guys. The Clueboard is something that I have much affection for simply because it's got my favorite layout. So as you can see on my desk over here, I have quite a few. I have quite a few clue boards. These are all mine. So yeah. Let's see. Today's drink is an honest, organic honey green tea. One of my favorite drinks. Actually, this might be my favorite grocery store tea. Let's see, how many people today? 19 viewers. Who's here? Who is here? I see it. It's Logo for Poop, Xenophobia, Milkman U, Kevlarcade. Who else? Liquid Sky Design. Thanks for joining in, all of you. And Asum, or Assy McFly. Thanks, guys. And Hiro-san as well. Thanks for joining in. But here we go. 4 clue boards that I own. Just to give you a quick story. When I first got into this hobby, I absolutely wanted an FC660M, but what turned me off was the spacebar wasn't, well, it was a standard size, it just didn't have standard stems. So I was very weary about purchasing one on my own. So eventually I heard of a company called Clueboard who was experimenting with an FC660M profile. So I bought this guy right here. Milkman U subscribed at tier 1. Thanks for joining in, man. And I just realized my music is not on. Let's play some. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So this was the very first clue board that I bought. It was an Alps board, sandwich style with an aluminum plate. I put SKCM oranges in it. So yeah, it's as you can see, I have since taken it apart. I moved the switches over to an AEK style board. I don't know, maybe I'll rebuild it. But I think I've since sold the PCB, so maybe Scully will have his own. Who knows? The second PCB the second clue board I ever got was this guy right here. During the 2017 Seattle meetup, there was a QMK contest, and I was asked to join. And I'm kind of like, really? you want me to join? So I kind of wavered on that. I didn't want to join, but then come the day of, we're like, we are about 10 minutes away from starting the contest, and one of the organizers comes up to me and says, "Merlin, we only have 3 people competing. We need more people." And I'm like, "You sure?" He's like, "Sure." I'm like, "All right." So I joined, because I kind of had a feeling something would happen. So I did prep beforehand, and what I ended up doing was I just basically, all I did was remap the board so that I could play the online keyboard that you can find on a website, and I played some tunes. That's all I did. And I won this. So this is one of 3 prototype hot swap clue boards. There are other hot swaps these days, but this is the only one with the USB Mini B and an acrylic bottom and a metal top. All fully hot swap. The next clue board I got was this, actually. Let's see, its Logo for Poop is pinging me. Will you get a Borsdorf? No, because it is ISO. What key set? Oh yeah, this is running, if I remember correctly, these are Halo Clears with PBT SA Ice Cap. And then this guy right here, the next clue board that I got. This was sent to me by Scully to do builds and just to promote it, to promote Clueboard. Oh, you know what? What you're seeing right here is GMK Clueboard. This is what originally came with this board, but I've just swapped things around. But yeah, this one is his newest low profile. It's got, check that out. Look at how thin that is. It's a low profile with, I believe, a 6-degree angle. It's running an ARM-powered PCB with USB-C and speakers. In fact, I think all Clueboards have speakers. Yeah. Its logo for Poop says, Clueboard is a pre-built. No, it's not. I had to build this up myself. But these two are both hot swaps. Yeah. See that? And this is the keycap that the Seattle keyboard community was giving away back in 2017. Yeah, this is his low profile one. I think this is his newest PCB, if I'm not mistaken. Last Clueboard I got is not actually sold under the Clueboard brand, but it is a Clueboard PCB. This is a Volcano 660, group by TYL, Tianra Labs. It's basically a Clueboard. This is my favorite, actually. This is my favorite board in my arsenal currently. It's running Gateron Black inks with GMK Solarized Dark, and I love it. I love how it sounds. It's gasket mounted. This is the only board that I can type over 150 on. So I think 70G for black inks is my sweet spot. But yeah. And now today, I'll be building another Clueboard for a customer. And I'm pretty happy because it's not like any other Clueboard that I own. This is his newest high profile, Rev 4.5. Check it out. So it's basically looks like this, but it's all metal. See that? And it's a sparkly purple color. Really sparkly and all that. I think he calls it like, let's see, let me look at the website really quick. Oh wait, I should plug in the board before I try to use it, right? There we go. But yeah, I have Clueboards all around here. Let's see, let me pull up his website. Here we go. Clueboard aluminum kit V4.5, currently selling for $249. Currently sold out? Yeah, he's sold out right now. But this is the Ironstone Blackberry. Ironstone Blackberry. Quite a unique name if I say so myself. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be building this for the customer today. Alright, let me put away all these other Clueboards. We'll only be sticking with one. So let's take this away. See. Anywhere Solarized Dark is in stock. Looks like its logo for Poop answered already. It's on KeyClack. Yeah. Alright, so man. I've never built this version of Clueboard before, so I'm kind of curious to see what's different with it. Okay, here we go. The customer has asked me to build his Clueboard, which already comes pre-populated with stabs because he bought it secondhand. And he wants me to put on lubed and filmed vintage blacks. New old stock, might I add. And the package he sent me actually came with RGB LEDs, but I'm not sure we can actually put these on, but we'll see. We'll see. Once I open it up and take a look around, we'll figure it out. Just roll this up first. Roll, roll, roll. The RGB wheel. So Clueboard is actually one of the few companies that gives you a little manual. That really pretty. The first thing to decide on is your layout. Decide on your layout, PCB testing, stabilizer switches. Need more help? Contact clueboard.co/support. Let's say powered by QMK firmware, of course. For those of you who don't know, Scully is one of the 2 directors of QMK. Alright. So I suppose I should try and test the PCB first. It is a second-hand board, so you never know. You never know. Things could go very wrong. Thankfully, I've never had a customer send me a board that was dead on arrival. Thankfully. Armickey1615, thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Alright, let's see. Let's take this apart first. If you guys notice, the Clueboard is actually an integrated plate board. And you don't see any screws around except for these 2. So I'm kind of curious how this all comes together, you know? Its logo for poop says impeach RGB. See, I wonder if the customer is actually watching right now. Not sure. Man. There we go. Nope, that's still not the right size. Okay, it better be it. There we go. How much are your builds usually? My builds vary on keyboard size. For like 60% and under, I just charge 25 bucks. But of course, shipping to and from me is all on you. Alright. Let's see. Those seem to be the only 2 screws. Oh, wow. It has foam. I don't know if this comes standard or you put the foam on himself, but look at that. Okay, that looks like he did it himself, because that's not a very even cut. Looks good. Looks good. And that's what the bottom looks like. Kind of reverby. See, so once you put the foam in, it does help with the sound. And here we go, the beautiful Clueboard PCB. What is the case made of? It's aluminum, but it's powder coated. That's why it has all that fancy color. Let's see, this is his, which version? Version 3.0 mini. Okay. It looks like all the screws have washers already, so I don't need to redo any of the stabs. Looks good, looks good. Right. So, anything else about this PCB I can point out? I see the speakers on them. It's using a ARM STM32F303, if I'm reading that correctly. It's got a reset button right there as well. I see something that looks to be an ESD protection chip. It's right there, right underneath the USB port, right there. All that good stuff. And here, let's take another look. Let's take another look at this case. Let's take out all this bubble wrap. Whew. No more bubble wrap. That it's got a acrylic center. Let's see if I can lift it really quick. It seems to be on there tight. Okay. I am not gonna fiddle with it because it looks really flimsy. It's Raz, thanks for following. Essie McFly, thanks for following. Yeah. Wow, this whole case only has 2 screws. That is super simple. Wow. Alright, well let's start with the PCB, guys. Start with the PCB. This might be a very quick build. Very nice. So the way I'm going to do this, because it's an integrated plate, we want to make sure each of these switches is fully seated. So we're going to put all the switches into the plate first before we start soldering. And it's interesting that this PCB is yellow. In previous conversations that I've had with Scully, he's kept all ARM-powered boards of his white, and all AVR-powered boards of his white, and all ARM-powered boards of his black. Rob27 says, "Hey yo everyone, hello to you too." Man. Okay, let's do this. Wait, before I do anything, I said it. I know I said it. I gotta test the PCB. Make sure it actually works, because it has been previously desoldered. So who knows? Some people are better desolderers than other people. Looks orange on stream to me. Yeah, it's a slight orange color. What? That's a mini B. Why is it not plugging in? I know how to plug in a mini B. There it is. It beeped. Right, let me. Okay, let's pull up my favorite website for testing keyboards. Here we go. Alright, hopefully this board works, because as I said earlier, it's been previously desoldered. So things could go very wrong very quick. Here, let's see. Oh, wait, it's registering. Hello, backspace. There we go. Uh-oh. What happened to the E there? There we go. Like I said, I have never had a customer send me a PCB that was dead on arrival. I have had customers send me PCBs that had odd things with it. Like, if you guys remember, a few months ago I did the Mars 8.0. That had, like, he had to send me 2 other PCBs because every PCB he sent was just garbage. In fact, I still have those PCBs because they were all dead. And he didn't want me to charge him for shipping him a dead PCB. So I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. It's all good. All good. We can continue building this PCB. Let's see. It's Ras has followed. Thanks for joining in. Why is this port so hard to pull out? Oh man. So let's see. Let's see if I can... Nah, it's like way too dark. But it looks like the port is a little skewed. Whoever owned this last may not have pulled the USB port properly. You know, some people pull it at an angle. Like, you need to pull it completely out. One of the major causes of broken keyboards here, guys. Alright, what did I say I was going to do? I was going to populate the plate. Let's populate the plate. That's why USB-C is so much better, says Papa Mario. I agree. And check it out, guys. His LP version comes with the USB-C, and with USB-C you can use magnetic connectors like what I have here, and you never mess up. Plug it in. It's connected. You know, you can pull it any which way. Like, watch this. I'm gonna pull it, pulling it towards my keyboard, and see, it just comes off just like that. Doesn't damage anything. See that? I can even pull it down this way. You know? No damage at all. Merlin is the only one in the world who uses a magnetic connector. That's not true. Alright. Oh, there we go. Now it came off. Oh, that's interesting. One side is not fully peeled. Let me peel it for him. Peel it. Okay, this is probably like the most satisfying feeling. Peel, 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 peel. Oh, there we go. Papa Mario says, "You monster." Can I do it all in one piece? in one piece. Can we do it? Don't snap, gang. I know, right? There we go. Pulled it off in one piece. I am amazing. Alright. That goes in like that. Actually, we'll put this away. Just so I don't snap it. Okay. Man, just realized since I have a dark dust mat, it's really hard to see darker boards. Oh well. It is what it is. Time to get new dust mats, Merlin. Let's see. Okay. Which way do the switches go in? They go in... south facing. Awesome. The reason why I say that is not all Clueboards have south facing LEDs. Some of them are north facing, believe it or not. This is the normal color. Oh yeah, these are well desoldered. Oh yeah, these are new old stock Cherry MX Blacks, both lubed and filmed. So after this is all said and done, I'm going to compare it with my Volcano. My Volcano is also lubed and filmed 205 G0s. That's a good look. Yeah, so it's funny because most integrated plates that I've ever had the pleasure of building, it's a little stiff to put switches in, but this one's really simple. Just need to make sure all of the legs are straight. Stack it under other mats. I know, right? I currently have 2 mats right now. Yeah, if you guys ever build an integrated plate board, I would highly recommend using linears. Simply because I feel integrated plate is the stiffest feel. So if you have something like a really strong tactile, like Holy Pandas, it's gonna hurt. But if you like that feel, then be my guest. Be our guest, be our guest. Oh man, the thing with desoldered switches is that the legs are hardly ever straight. Especially if they come from a vintage board. If you guys ever desoldered a Wise board, you'll notice that in the corners of a Wise board, whoever soldered it bends the legs over just to give it better grip. Quantizizy, long time no see, thanks for joining in. Asa McFly says, I hope you don't mind falling asleep during my stream. It's 11 p.m. where you live. No worries. This is Scully's new Clueboard, the version 4.5. Actually, it's the only Clueboard that I don't own. Rob27 says, yeah, Alps does that too. So I have never typed on new old stock Cherry MX Blacks before, so this will be a treat. This will be a treat. Another non-straight leg. Nope, not straight yet. There we go. Is the stream in 2x speed? Not that I know of. Maybe I'm just moving faster. I am a wizard, you know. Yeah, I guess this is pretty good too, because I can compare it with all the other Clueboards that I have. So I'm very curious. I'd say I'm very interested in this board myself. So, you know, and it's fairly cheap. It's fairly cheap, considering it's not in stock, so I'm not sure I can just buy one, but Scully's local. Well, he's local to California, so, you know. And a lot of his manufacturing is in California as well. It solved the speed problem. I'm very curious how Scully picks his colors, because this is a very unique color. It kind of reminds me of what's that space set from Signature Plastics? It's not Space Cadet. It's the purple one, the purple and gray one, if I remember correctly. Anyone in the audience know what I'm talking about? I think they made a GMK set of it. Oh, GSA Deep Space. Yes, that's it. They made a GMK one too. The GMK one, in my opinion, turned out much better. This powder coating is really, really nice. Yeah, this one in front of me, this is also powder coated. There have been other people in the community who have powder coated their boards, but out of all the ones that I've owned, the Clueboard powder coating seems to stand the test of time the best. Let's see. Swiss T has followed. YKZCS has also followed. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all your support. So I don't know if the customer lubed and filmed these himself, or he hired someone to do it. Gotta straighten out these legs as much as I can. Okay. The Santa Cruz shop. Yeah, for sure. These colors, like, you know, there's hardly ever a powder coating shop that's exclusive for keyboards, but these colors kind of remind me of maybe something for bikes or something for skateboards. So maybe that's what their primary line of business is. Who knows? It's all just speculation. Like if you look at Clueboard's website, you'll see all of the other options. The shop shows a bike on its main. Oh, perfect. Then that is probably their primary line of business. They make bikes. Or they don't make bikes, they powder coat bikes. Devitash has followed. Thanks for following, man. Most of their work is car parts. Interesting. Get that sway bar. Scully Daced! Thanks for joining in, Scully. Right. Let's put this in. We powder coat websites to pick. We scour powder coat websites to pick colors. Let's see. There we go. Now with how easy it was to put these switches in, I didn't actually need to pre-populate the board. I could have done it one by one. Just unlike most other integrated plate boards I've tried. That was a good surprise. Saab motor on the webpage, nice. Make sure all of those switch legs went through. And I just realized that all of his switches are not 5-pin. They're all just plate mount. I think this might have come from a Wise board. Alright, looks like I did this correctly. All the legs are poking through. I can start soldering. Perfect. Awesome. Hooray! Okay, let's start soldering. You guys will hear a slight humming noise. That is my fume extractor. It will sound like a vacuum in the next room. It'll actually probably sound louder to me than it does to all of you. Alright, here goes. Let's get some solder. Here's my solder. Turn on the iron. CBT Twitch says, does the Wise KB3926 have membrane or mechanical switches, chat? I've never even heard of that board. Import Shark AT has followed. Thanks for following. So has FKLR. What model is my fume extractor? I don't know actually. It's on the bottom, so I just don't want to lift it up right now. There we go. But the brand starts with an X. That's all I remember at this point. Picked it up from a local shop here. Tunes, Saab was actually an aircraft motor manufacturer. I did not know that. Good to know. Have I used a TS100? I have used a TS100 once during a tutorial session of sorts. It was fine. I wouldn't say it's like the best thing ever, but it worked for my needs. What I'm doing right now is I'm just soldering in all the mounted points. Because these switches don't have 5 pins, what I'm noticing is that the PCB is starting to fall a bit. So I want to at least get some of the mounting points done. Now that you know the PCB is plain copper, the color is growing on you. Nice. Isn't plain copper highly conductive? It is. But it's a coated one. He said it was the solder mass, if I remember correctly. Okay. Plain copper with clear solder mask. I'm gonna solder something in the middle now. Okay. Okay, did I do that right? Yep. Yep, they're flush now. Awesome. Okay. Oh, this guy's not. Which boards has vintage blacks? Quite a few of them. Quantizing. You read the chat wrong. That's fine. Sometimes chat is really hard to read. When you lube switches, you lube all the springs or only the tip of the spring? It depends on what the customer asks me to do. I do one of the following, depending on if I have time or not. I either just lube the bottom of the spring where the coils are, or I put a bunch of springs into a condiment container and put a few drops of oil on it, and I shake it about. It just really depends on how I'm feeling that day. I'm on to the third row now. I'm gonna have to brush this PCB after. The previous desoldering job left a bunch of flux all over the place, so I would really like to clean that up. This the Ironstone Blackberry? It's... yes. I'd say it is. I forgot the exact color, but it's on the website. There's Ironstone something. Okay. Ironstone Blackberry and the copper vein. Yeah, this is the Ironstone Blackberry. guys want to see what we're talking about there, let me just link it in chat. How about that? There we go. All linked. $250. $250, and you can get a board like this, assuming they come in stock. Yeah, I know, right? Not a bad price at all, and US made, might I add. Alright. Okay, let's put in the rest of the other switches. Go. Armorkey says, I like the layout, good price. Yeah, this is basically an FC660M from Leopold. But QMK powered and all that. I don't know, maybe... I don't think any of the Clueboard boards are in VIA yet. But as I've been saying on Tuesdays, it is my goal to get every board that I own into VIA, so eventually they will. Lost Pub says, did you help with the ID80 QMK? No, I did not. Why does that not go in? There we go. That goes in. So this has a high profile, it's not the same board. Yeah, that's correct. These are all different clue boards. At the start of the stream, I showed what I would say is possibly every clue board variant. Yeah, this is going to be high profile, similar to... I'll just show it later. But I need to see what the customer wants for his layout. The customer wants... Okay, looks like he wants a regular caps lock. No problem there. Regular caps lock. 3 1.25 to 6. So yeah, basically like this. Okay, we can do that. No problem at all. Guess I just have to figure out what's what. Alright, back to the soldering iron. Lost Pub, if you click on that wizard hat, it will link to my QMK configurator video. Alright. Alright, gotta figure out this bottom row so it matches exactly what I have. And it's a good thing it's already been previously desoldered, so I can actually match up exactly where these pins need to go. Actually, that's not right. Okay, just to be absolutely safe, I will measure everything. Because the only one I am absolutely sure of is that first one. So let's see. I'm gonna grab some 1.25 U's. Xenophobia says Merlin's our only true wizard. I like to say I am one of many wizards in the community, but I'm the only one who wears a hat. And the most important thing is, I am the most handsome. Pull all the 1.25 U's. Well, I could. Let's do that. Let's unplug it first so I don't randomly type random stuff. Ooh, that was really loose fitting. There we go. Pulled them all out. Control. Oh, that already sounds really good. Dang. You meant the keycaps, not the switches. Well, you know, that's the thing with hot swaps, right? Here, that's a good... You can solder that. Let's solder that. Gatinas is the customer today. Will be my driver to work and back, so I'll be using this all day. Awesome. Gatinas, I do need to caution you that your USB port is a little bit off-centered for some odd reason. So when you pull out the USB cable, be very aware that you need to pull it out properly. CBT Twitch says, are vintages worth it? If you can get them for cheap, sure. But in my opinion, we currently have like switches in the community that exceed vintages. Vintages are just for the flex, in my opinion. Like, for example, Gatinas, who did you get to Lubin film these boards? These switches, I mean. Because they do feel pretty good, but they're still not as smooth as stock alpacas, to be honest. Just to be safe, let's just... I'm seeing that one of these switches I pulled out is not even straight. That goes to show I don't use that key very often, because I never noticed until today. You might have to try alpacas. Yeah, yellow's your favorite. So I will hopefully be using my alpacas next Saturday. We'll see. We shall see. That is most definitely not the right position. You don't really like the sound of alpacas creams, though? Creams do sound good. They're not exactly the smoothest of switches, in my opinion. Alpacas are probably the smoothest stock switch I've tried. Got it. Okay, one last switch. One last switch. And good on Gatinas for sending me extras. You never know. Can tactiles be smooth, I think is what you mean. And yes, they can. Okay. So what I've done is I've soldered one leg of every single switch. So now I can actually solder the rest of them. Here goes. Turn on my fume extractor again. Pardon me for the next 5-ish minutes or so, 5-10 minutes, while I solder the rest of the board together. Hyper Mode says, do you solder only one leg at first so you can fix any misaligned switches? Yes, and I also melt the solder as I push that switch all the way in to make sure that the switch and the PCB are fully mated. It's like they are fully flush. Because if they're not, that can contribute to rattle and just a weird feel. Go. I got in on the 7V last night. And yeah, I know, I'm gonna be waiting until February, but... And then, of course, if you factor in delays, I'll probably be waiting till April. Who knows? I think I'm done. Let's just verify that every switch has been soldered and that every solder joint looks really conical. Conical, not comical. Go. What I'm doing is I'm just reflowing the ones that look a little odd. We're good. We are good. Let's see. I see a ping. CBT Twitch says, Merlin, what are your personal favorite linear? Right now, it's an alpaca. Okay. Let's see. Look at all that. Let's plug it in and see if I did this right. Let's see, where is it again? Here it is. Let's do boom, right there. Plug in the board. Plug in the board. There we go. Come on, reset. There we go. Wait a second. There we go. So always test the board again after you've soldered before you put the rest of the board together. Because in some cases, it's very hard to put the board back together. Good thing the Clueboard only requires 2 screws. Perfect. Perfect. Everything looks good. And as I said earlier, I noticed that because of the previous desoldering job, there's a bunch of flux just scattered all over the board. So I'd like to clean that up. You can clean up flux just by using isopropyl alcohol, which I have, and a toothbrush. So let's just clean this up really quick. Yeah, there's just a large amount of flux for some reason on this board. It looks like it's from the previous desoldering job. just gotta scrape all of that away. I know it's not exactly like visible because it's not a see-through board, but I don't like knowing that it's there. I'm sure Gatinas will never notice it until he takes apart the board. But here's another thing. There was foam in this case, so I'm concerned that the flux and the foam will just stick together and it'll get really sticky, so I'd rather avoid that. What do I use to clean flux? I just use isopropyl alcohol. I use 99% to be specific, but you can use as low as 70 and you'll be fine. And typically I don't recommend using a toothbrush, simply because what the toothbrush does is it does clean the flux, but it also spreads the flux. So if you want to do a more meticulous job, you should use Q-tips. Because after I do this, I'm going to have to use Q-tips and just wipe away all that extra. It'd be crazy if I'm like, nah, you need to use Grey Goose vodka. Now, and another reason I'm doing this is as a few people on stream were talking about, this is a beautiful PCB. If it has so much residual flux on it, it takes away from that beauty. So yeah, once you've actually spread out the flux, which I don't recommend like this, you'll notice that your PCB starts feeling really sticky. And that's the result of the flux being spread around. So after this, I still definitely need to use Q-tips. Well, you know, if you're doing this, you got to make sure that you do it as if you were brushing your teeth, circular motion and in an angle. Heat Death, long time no see. Group buys ending soon and they're offering it in E-White. Am I going to regret not buying it in hopes of getting in on the next round? I would suggest buying it anyway and just selling it, I guess, if you don't like it. Of course, I'm a big 75% shill. So buy it. Buy the 7B. Alright. Clean PCB. Clean but hella sticky. So we gotta wipe away some of it with Q-tips. There, that should be enough. Hopefully. Yep. Not sure if you guys can see, but the Q-tip is turning yellow. That is the result of picking up all that excess flux. Epsilon says no sake as of yet. Sake? It's looking mighty fine. Mighty fine PCB. Beautiful. Yeah. So guys, you can pick up so much of that excess flux. That's still sticky? No, it's not anymore. Perfect. There's still some slight stickiness. Probably just go through it one more time. One last time. Then we can put it on. Okay. We good. We good. Okay, gonna put this board together now. Let's see, where's that bottom half? Oh wait, I forgot. We still have this top half here, or this acrylic centerpiece, even though the board doesn't have any RGB. There we go. Like so. And then here's the bottom. Like it needs to clip into place or something. Here. Isn't that a beautiful color, guys? Beautiful. Armakey says, what channel name will the 7V build on? It'll be here. But possibly in March. Unless I somehow manage to get a prototype of sorts, but that's very highly unlikely. Ah. Not bad. Right. I have experienced some boards in which, after putting it into a case, it stops working. So let's test it one more time. Just to be absolutely sure. Perfect. Don't leave my keycaps on the board before I ship it back. I know, right? All right. Looks like the board works. Probably put keycaps on it now. Let's see. What can I put on that I have left here? You know, I do want to compare this with my other Clueboard, not the low profile one. So I will take those caps and put it on here. Let me clean up a little bit here. Hypnotic is goated. Thanks for joining in. We see quite a few follows as well. Silver Soar, Mr. Laserface, Zlalamon, Bui, Ladney, 91 Unlucky. Thanks guys for joining in. Today I have built a customer's Clueboard. If you're interested in having your boards built by yours truly, contact me through Discord or ping me here on Twitch. I've been building keyboards for, since 2014, pretty much. I'm very experienced. The only type of board that I have not built are the new leaf mount boards. But other than that, I think I've built every type of board already. And this feels really good. I like it. Alright, before we continue forward, I do want to talk about some of my lovely, lovely sponsors of this channel. And I just realized I should probably plug in a different board, which I will do right now before I continue further. Let's do this. The board that I absolutely love, the Volcano 660. Let's plug it in really quick. There goes my long cable. Does it work? Yes, it does. Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, as I said, before we continue, I do want to talk about some of my lovely sponsors today. Let's start off with Novelkeys, since we were talking about the 7V. The 7V is basically a 75% designed by Gawk, and you only have literally 1 day left of the group buy. It sells for $450 to $455. You can purchase additional components such as the PCB and PVD coated weights in the extras column. Thanks, Xenophobia. Let's see. Disclaimer. I have chosen to purchase this, and I'm very excited because I'm big on 75%. Another thing he's currently selling is a group buy on Cat Arctic. You guys know I'm a big fan of the cat profile, not just because I like the animal cat, but I actually have one of the first cat sets and I've been very pleased with them. I'm glad to see that people are going towards cat sets these days. Let's see, how much do these go for? 36 for the alphas. Okay. What about the modifiers? Beluga. Okay. Frosted otter. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Heat Dead says, what finish are you going for? I'm going for the blue because I already have a satisfaction in white. And I thought that the blue contrasted better with the silver weight. Let's see, what else is he selling? He's currently doing the decent 65 group buy. You also have, oh, you've got till May 9th for this, but this is a 65% keyboard that looks quite similar to an M65, a Koyu, a Doro from the top down, but when you start looking at the sides, that's where the difference is. Unlike those boards, this board is also designed by Martin What? If I'm not mistaken. Yep, here we go. One TA65 V3 PCB by Martin What? So it will have the unified USB Type-C daughter board along with ESD protection. Awesome. Very nice. And it's got my favorite blocker too. Right there. Awesome. The only thing about this board is I honestly think it's a tad too expensive. 390 bucks. Maybe if it was like 300, then I'd be more interested, but 390 is a little out there. All right, what else is he doing? He's not doing anything else, but I do have a story to tell. I have been waiting for NK blueberries for the longest time, and I found out last night that they had already come and gone, and I felt so sad. But in case you guys want to know what blueberries are, they are essentially creams, but tactile. And I was checking every day too, but they sold out. So sad. I was very curious about this because I've built a tactile cream switch. I put razor stems in it, and I was really wondering if they would feel the same, but yeah, I was way too late. Apparently they were gone in less than an hour, like most things in our hobby. Okay, see, my next sponsor is Keebio. Keebio is also a fellow QMK collaborator. I built an iris from him last week. Let me pull that out. Show you guys. I built an Iris Rev 3 from him last week, and it's worked for my gaming sessions, but the sound has just been pretty horrible. So I've asked my coworker, the same coworker who, let's see, where's that macro pad? The same coworker who printed this one out for me, to see if he could print out a case for this. So hopefully I can redo this build and have a better sound. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, back to Keebio. I always recommend this. This is like my favorite product. Peel away sockets for Pro Micros. If you ever have to desolder your Pro Micro, you know it's a pain. But with these, you can swap out Pro Micros whenever they break. And they will break. Alright, yeah, as Xenophobia was saying, if you use discount code wizardhat, you can get up to 15% any of his items here. Let's see. I still have to buy this, BDN9, but it was sold out by the time I wanted to buy it, so I guess I'll just have to wait for him. Right. My next sponsor is Zeal. Zeal PC. Zeal PC is located in Richmond, Canada, and I'm sure you've heard of him by now. He makes one of the most expensive switches in our community. He offers both tactile and linear variants. I'm a big fan of his Zelio V2s, 67G to be exact, and I'm also a big fan of his Telios. Those are probably my two favorites out of his entire stock. I have a Xeno from him that I should be building in the near future. Just waiting for a few more components, but hopefully they will all arrive. If you don't know what a Xeno is, let's see if it's here. Here we go. There it is. That is what a Xeno looks like. If only it would load. Load! There it is. Kind of like the 7V, but as I said earlier, I am a big fan of 75% keyboards, so I will keep buying 75% for a very, very long time. Alright. When was the Xeno group buy? Xeno group buy, I think, was 2018. End of 2018. No, actually, that's not true. Yeah, it was. It was the end of 2018, and I only received my board in February of this year, and I went there to actually go and grab it. Oh, it was a long time ago, but I finally have one, and I've shown it off on stream a few times. I just haven't built it yet. Right, my next sponsor is Dixie Mech. Dixie Mech is currently doing a group buy of one of my favorite key sets ever, GMK Nautilus. I still have to make my purchase, but disclaimer, I'm only buying 2 things from him. I'm only purchasing the Spacebar kit and the desk mat, just because I'm fairly content with my one GMK Nautilus set. But I do want this desk mat, and I do want yellow space bars, like so. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like having different colored space bars, but yellow's my favorite color, so I kind of have to go that route. Warfig subscribing with Twitch Prime, thank you so much. Yeah, let's see. We have a few days left, May 5th, 2020. So yeah, just a few more days left. 115 for the set. How much for the spacebar? 25 bucks, not bad. That's like a tank of gas, I'd say. Discriminate says, you're my favorite color. Aww. Alright, last but not the least, Project Keyboard. And Project Keyboard is actually doing a group buy of a set that I've been waiting for quite some time. This is GMK Masterpiece. And if you think it looks familiar, it's probably because it looks quite similar to Zambumon's GMK Striker. I wanted that set so badly, but at the time finances didn't work out, so I skipped out. And been watching Mech Market off and on, but none of the prices appeal to me. So I'm glad that this is out now. You can get a whole base kit for 129 bucks. Look at all that. Nice and blue. Blue is another one of my favorite colors, by the way. Like, I like GMK Striker blue, but this blue I like even more. Let's see, what else do they have here? The desk mat looks good. If only I could read what these characters stood for. I can't read them. Let's see, how much is the desk mat? Desk mat is 17. Yep, can do that. That's an ugly one. Yeah, I prefer Endgame. Wave is okay as well, but I'll probably do this. Value. Any novelties? There are no novelties. Okay. That's fine. Ooh. Rama cap. Knife. Look at that. Look at that scoop. That's really interesting. Cool. But yeah, I will definitely be getting in on this. Good thing we have quite some time. Group buy ends June 2nd. And delivery date is Q4 of 2020. Really? That's fairly ambitious, considering all of the GMK backups these days. But I'm glad to see that that's actually happening. Alright guys, thanks for listening to all my wonderful sponsors. Hope you find the time to make purchases from them, as quite a few of them are big names in our community who have made the community what it is. Let's see, Xenophobia says, Merlin, left side of the desk map says, here, let's look at that desk map. Left side of the desk mat says Endgame Masterpiece. Right side says Mechanical Keyboard. Ah, very cool. And I like how the quote-unquote designs are on the left and the right. I've seen a bunch of designs where the main focus point of the desk mat is here in the middle. But people normally put their keyboard in the middle, so it obscures that design. So this is pretty cool. All right, let's get to putting some keycaps on this bad boy. Clueboard 66. I will be reusing GMK Clueboard. This. Yeah, so now my little Nightbot command is gonna be out of date because I've changed out the keyboard. Filler Freak says that he agrees with me. Yeah. So one thing that Clueboards have been criticized about, like, not necessarily Clueboard the company, but the actual Clueboard 66, is that it's got huge gaps around the keys, and that's quite noticeable around the page up and the page down. Some people have even said that it's not completely high profile, but from the looks of this case, looks like that issue has been fixed as well. Toon Van says, I just realized I ordered one of the Apollo's desk mats with an astronaut in front of the moon, right in the middle of the mat. Yep, you will not see it. Okay. I think this board will sound fairly decent. We'll see though. We shall see soon. That's a good sounding spacebar. Kudos to whoever lubed it. It's a good sounding backspace too, nice. I do notice it's maybe a tad sluggish, but that's fine. Let's check out how the enter key goes. Enter key's good. Right shift. Idiot exception says, hi, is it heavy stakes? No, it is not. It is a Clueboard. So it's taking a while to put all the keycaps in because seriously, every time I pull off a keycap, out comes the switch. Bandem says, greetings from Germany. Hello and welcome. Greetings from Seattle, Washington. Does VIA work with split keyboards? Yes, it does. I recently built an Iris from Keebio, and that was supported in VIA. Oh, one thing about the GMK Clueboard key set, check it out. They've got two legends, one up front, and then they have the sub legends on the side there. This one says F2. Unfortunately, it's not double shot. It's just pad printed. The main legend is double shot, but the pad printed one is well, the pad printed one is not, obviously. It's a good thing that it's on the side, because you don't ever touch the side like that. You're always touching on top. You never see a build around QMK Proton C? You still have no idea what to do with it? It works the same as a Pro Micro. And I've built one with a Proton C. It's also not as popular because there's not as many, I think. You're soldering some CRKBD. You want to try VIA? Yeah, give it a shot. I don't think the CRKBD is in VIA quite yet, but you know, if you follow along on my streams, I'm sure you could figure it out. Is the video on your YouTube? Yes, it's basically a VOD, you know. Every Tuesday I do some kind of porting stream in which I take a board that doesn't have QMK and I get QMK to support it. And in some cases, if the board already supports QMK but not VIA, I get VIA to support it. So I've been doing this for about a year. Almost every Tuesday, so there's quite a few videos for you to work through. All the videos are pretty much the same. I'm doing the same thing. I just have different commentary each time. Different commentary, different mistakes, different alcohol. Florent says, I don't believe VIA supports KC brightness up and down. Oh, that's unfortunate. But can you put it as an any key code and see if that works? Because VIA is still QMK. Yeah, VIA is not a new firmware. VIA is just a GUI for QMK firmware. Bandom says, do I allow to post links? I have a build site with most open source keybs. No, I do not allow posting of links from non-moderators. But if you want to message Xenophobia, he's one of the mods. Oops, wrong key. It's because we've had instances of people posting unsavory links in the past. You're not a mod? I could swear you were. Here, let me mod you. Mod. Wait, I spelled your name wrong. Mod XXIINO phobia. There we go. Congratulations. You are now a mod. An official mod. But don't forget, it's always cooler to be an alpha. Second time in 2 weeks. Congrats on your promotion. Promotion is cool. So Xenophobia has won something on my channel before. So I can't be accused of rigging because he wasn't a mod when he won it. Speaking of giveaways, it is a new month. It is a new month, so it's about time for another giveaway. Not for this stream, but maybe the next one. We'll see. We'll see how things go. A database of open source keyboards. Nice. Thank you, Bendham. Two more keys. Two more keys. So, one more key. There we go. Gatinas, if you're still watching, your board's done. Now we get to type on it. Let's see if it's any good. And now my own Clueboard is bare naked. Alejandro, thanks for joining in. And thanks for following. Let's see. How does it feel? How does vintage NOS lubed and filmed Cherry MX Black feel? Let me hear how sexy it sounds. All right, here. Let me pause our music. Okay, music has been paused. Listen to these blacks. Let me clean up a bit here. All right, we'll actually do a typing test now. Let's figure this out here. Typing test. There we go. Typing test. Let's see. Since GMK Clueboard isn't a wildly popular set because it's only sold on Clueboard. Let's pick something that's fairly similar. Light? Light probably looks the closest. Let's see. We do 50. Nah, actually, light doesn't look close. Let's try. I feel like none of them really work. Here, solarized light. There we go. That, sure, why not? Bendham says, never heard about Abacus keyboard. Neither have I. FX says, sounds like my $60 keyboard. Oof. Do you hear that, Scully? All right, here we go. Let's plug it in. Let's plug it in. See what happens. All right. Let's see. How fast can I do this? This is a linear board, so we'll see. We'll see. Never really typed on vintage blacks this long before. Wow. Let's try again. $145, accuracy of 100. Awesome. Awesome possum. Very nice. Yeah, let's see. Curious, how does this compare with... Let's see. So obviously not a direct apples to apples comparison, simply because different switches, different keycaps, and basically different case material. But here we go. This is basically that, but in plastic and only a metal top case. Heat data. What was that typing test site? It's typings.gg, designed by a member of our community. In terms of sound, I think I prefer this board still, but then again, I don't have linears, nor do I have GMK keycaps on this. Let's see, how does this compare versus my Volcano? Is this Cat Alpha? No, this is not Cat Alpha. This is SA PBT Ice Cap. Uniform profile, as you can see. One of the only SA sets that I like to use. Zark says, I missed the stream. You missed the giveaway too, Zark. I gave away a bunch of Luddites. Alright. Yeah. Gatinas. Since I think you're still on stream. Do you like the sound of the board? Personally, I think if we added more foam to it, it would sound better. Possibly even if we had put foam in between the plate and the PCB. Actually, you know, Gatina says, I love it. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm just going to experiment putting additional foam in it because I think that can improve the sound. And since this is literally one of the easiest boards I've taken apart, look, it's just 2 screws and that's it. See? 1. 72 Atari says, what about felt? I'd assume it's the same. You'd just have to put a lot of felt. But I wouldn't know because I've never felt one before. Yeah, I can put some foam in it. We'll do this. We'll put extra foam in. There we go. So I like to use grocery store foam. This is basically 3 millimeters thick. So we're not gonna put it all around. Just probably a small strip down the middle. Because I don't want the case to be too tight. There we go. Not quite the straightest foam. I think if we just put one in the middle there. You know, I wonder if I put too much foam in, will it dampen the beeping too much? Maybe. Maybe it will. Okay, let's try that. Put a second layer of foam on. Yeah, it is quite literally the easiest board to take apart. That LP that I was showing earlier, you still needed to screw the PCB into the plate, but this one is literally two screws, that's it. Oh. I actually can hear a difference. That foam did some magic, guys. It's pretty cool. Here, let me... That foam actually worked. I feel like... It does feel really tight though, so I may need to reconsider. It's already pretty much sniper silent. Meh. Yeah, I can already feel that it's super tight. So I'm a little bit hesitant about putting it all in. Let's try again. Metahertz says, hello boys. What do you guys think of the standard 75% layout? I love it. I'm a big fan of the 75% layout. But if you're talking about the standard one, like what the KBD 75 is, I would actually say no. That color's wicked. I know, right? It's really cool. Yeah. I can feel that it's super tight, so just to be safe, I am not going to put that foam in. It definitely did help it. So I don't know, Gatinas, if you ever decide to try and make your board a little bit more silent, know that it actually works. So I will leave that decision to you. But for me, I will just leave it with the foam that came with the board. At least ship the foam with the board. I could. Why not a standard 75% layout? It's because I feel like it's too cluttered. Let's see, do I have a 75%? No, I don't, but I can briefly show an example here. Just going on a segue here. Here we go. Let's do this. Too big. Here we go. Here we go. This is your typical KBD 75 layout. You'll see that bottom row has 3 1U's to the right of space. Function row is basically connected to the num row. Columns are also connected like this. I've discovered that, you know, as I type along and I want to access my arrow keys, sometimes I mistype and press the shift. Sometimes I hit the end. So it's good if you can move the arrow keys a bit further away. In terms of this top row being right here, that's purely just an aesthetic thing for me. This makes it look too much like a block. I would prefer it separated. But yeah, those are my main gripes about this layout. Like for example, I mentioned the 7V currently on Novelkeys. I believe that is one of the more ideal layouts for 75%. Here, let's bring up a good photo of it. There we go. Right there. Let's do this. Here we go. Look at that, see? The function row is separated, and if you buy GMK key sets, what it typically does is it alternates colors between F1 to F4, F5 to F8. And I just think it looks better when the separation occurs at the same time that the color changes, you know? And something like this as well, it's all separated out like this. It's just aesthetic and form, in my opinion. Flo Puncella says, I agree with what I have. A very tight 96 key layout. Yeah. Let's see. I currently don't have any 75% built just because I sold my Octagon, which is coincidentally this layout and is one of the reasons why I chose to like sell it. So hopefully I'll have my Xeno built soon, and my 7V will be coming in sometime next year. But speaking of 75%, I believe he was on stream. My next build will actually be for another customer. Let me give you guys a quick sneak peek. There we go. This is an E7 V1, 75% keyboard. You might have seen other clones like it, like the Polaris 75. It's awfully similar, and it's as I was saying, you know, like all the entire F row is separated out. Arrow keys are separated out as well. But the difference between this is you've got these two keys separated out as well. It's a little bit different. I like it too. I'm actually not sure if this is even in QMK yet. Let me check really quick. Is it in QMK? E7. Yes, it is actually. Cool. Okay. Well, since the board, no, Xenophobia E7 V1 SE is also in. So since the board is in my possession, I may be able to do something with Via about it. And oh man, this, let's see. Let me just show you guys what I'm looking at here. So this is the E7 V1 SE, and look at that gap. I wonder if the board actually looks like that or someone messed up with the configurator. Look at that, that is a huge gap. If you look at the regular E7, that looks much nicer. So I wonder, actually wonder, what board is this? Is this the E7 V1 or the SE? It just says E7 V1. I guess I will find out. Maybe come this Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, what time is it? It is 3:50 p.m. in Seattle, Washington. I've been at this for a little over 2 hours at this point. So yeah, just a quick summary of what we've done. We have built a Clueboard 66 Rev 4.5 for a customer today. It's built with Cherry MX Vintage Blacks, new old stock, lubed and filmed. I currently have GMK Clueboard on it, which is my own set. And this is the only Clueboard that I don't own. I own practically every other version of one. So yeah, this was quite a joy to build. So thank you, Gatinas, for giving me this opportunity. I will be testing it for the remainder of the day and a few more days after, just to make sure that everything works. And also to enjoy it, because I love Clueboards. But yeah, if you guys are interested in any builds, feel free to message me on Discord, and I will try my best to get back to you. Anyway, my next stream will be tomorrow, Sunday evening. Trying to do a different format instead of keyboard chores. I kind of want to do something a little bit more newsy, because I realized that I like talking about keyboards. I like talking with everyone on chat, talking about what's out there, what's new, what's good, what's bad, and I kind of want to make it more like that instead of me doing chores. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. All right, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye now.